So once again, we find ourselves in the Pivot series, and I'm really excited because this particular session is one that's really, really unique, not just by sheer nature of the geography where this person is. She is joining us all the way from Misawa, Japan, but also because of the relationship. This is someone who supported me since day one, someone who I look to as a big sister, but more importantly, someone who is ever changing the game. So we have joining with us today a young lady who I am personally very proud of, Dr. Pamela Tucker. How are you doing today, Pam?
I'm well. How are you, Zilla?
I am doing very well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I just want to go on record. We're recording at about 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. What time is it there where you are?
Well, here in Misawa, it is 10:22 p.m.
Wow. So I'm going
So
to have to
you're
make
at
that
the top of your day, and I'm at the winding down of mine.
at the top of your day, because I know you're always on the move. Well, you know what this series is all about because you've been following us and you shared some thoughts and comments, and we appreciate you for that. But tell us how things are going for you.
Well, things are moving at rapid pace for me. We're in the midst of COVID-19, as is the rest of the world, but delivering instruction in this new learning context has taken some savviness. It's taken savviness for me, it's taken savviness for my team. And so it's been interesting, but
Wow.
fast.
So you talk about your team, for those who don't know you, can you tell us a little bit about what it is that you do on a day-to-day basis and why you happen to be in Japan?
Okay, well, first let me say I enjoy dual status with the Department of Defense. So by day, I'm a secondary educator at a military connected high school. And by military connected, I mean that this high school services students grades 7 through 12 who are military or military connected. They either have a parent in the armed forces or a parent that works for the Department of Defense in some capacity. So in my day job, I am the department chair, the student transition coordinator. I'm on the discipline committee. I'm just a very busy person in this capacity. When I'm not in this capacity, then I am forward deployed. And what I mean by forward deployed, I go to Afghanistan, Iraq, and Djibouti. Anywhere the United States has a vested interest in standing up a strong Air Force, they send me to train those teachers to teach English as a military functional language, because English is the global language for aviation.
This COVID-19 period has created, some challenges for a lot of people, but it's created a lot of time vacuums, so to speak. What are some things that you've been doing for self-positioning in the midst of this pandemic?
Well, first and foremost, I pray and I fast, but for the betterment of myself and so that I can tap into all 7 levels of my intellect, I stay in some type of formal learning. I stay in that formal learning context for multiple reasons. One, I'm a combat veteran and I'm impacted by that. I live with a trilogy of effects. The most detrimental to me is cognitive disorder. And in order to keep my cognitive skills strong, I work on myself. I try to learn all I can, and then I turn around and teach all that I know. And I just try to encourage myself. And one of the ways that I do that, Zilla, is I always acknowledge my pain. And I acknowledge my pain. I allow myself to feel that pain. A lot of times, particularly as women, we try to keep it moving. We try to self-talk, but I think that it's important to acknowledge your pain, allow yourself to feel it, let it be the foundation for your productive struggles. Then access your inner power. Find where your resiliency lives.
We're hoping to, motivate people and to activate them and to elevate them, pardon the pun, which is very much intended, because that's what it's all about, using our platforms for meaningful purpose. Shifting gears just a little bit, talk to me about and share with the audience, you're in a completely different geography. Here in the US, we talk about states and what happened in New York City, and we both have very strong ties to your home state, Alabama, and some of the challenges there. Can you just give me a quick snapshot overview of how COVID-19 has affected where you are geographically?
We were on a different timeline, and one of the primary differences is this. The leadership here in Japan took this crisis serious. They strategized, they positioned, and in my particular area, in northern Japan, in Misawa, there's not a case in my area. And there are only 13 cases in the area that's nearest to me. Because the leadership here was very serious about what this was, and they're taking the necessary precautions. Everybody wears a mask, that's the law. Nobody would be so pompous as to break that law. So we've been able to be safer in this environment just because it's a different style of leadership than what we're seeing in the continental USA.
Wow, how fortunate that is for you all to be in that space. We all know that, times of challenge require very, very bold leadership. So what we know is that this time has been very, very challenging for a lot of people. People have lost their loved ones. People are losing their jobs. They're going through furloughs and layoffs, and small businesses are going out of business. Big businesses are going completely out of business. It's a dark time. And I know that you've done a lot of speaking on motivational platforms over the years. So why don't you give me and the audience a little bit of energy as it relates to how you inspire yourself, but more importantly, how we can inspire other people as we get through COVID-19.
Absolutely. I stay true to my faith. And I would just suggest to the listening audience, whatever your faith stance is, stand in that. Prayer is powerful, but don't get stuck in prayer. You have got to push through and find a way to be productive. As a people, we've seen tough times before. And what we know is that this too shall pass. My prayer is that people would be vocal about what their needs are. If you need a mental health consultant, there's no shame in that. Certainly go see one. If you need to roll on the floor and scream and yell, do that. Allow yourself to do what you need to do. You have an innate right to feel however you feel, but deal with your emotions. Acknowledge them. Let them be the foundation for your productive struggles. Tap into your power. We are powerful beings. Tap into that power. Allow that power to help you figure out how you can position yourself for the next level. What I'm learning in this new teaching environment, that this may be a great time for me to launch a digital academy to help teachers learn how to manage their classrooms better, to help them understand what culturally responsive educational practices look like. So even in COVID, there's opportunities.
Even in COVID, there's opportunities. And I think that's what this is all about. It's a reset button. And I think I heard someone say it on the radio the other day, and I've said it many, many times as well, and that is if you're still here, regardless of whatever that devastation and adverse experience is, you have a responsibility to understand that being here means that there's still opportunity. So thank you for sharing that. That means a lot. I want to just personally thank you for being who you are, and I want to thank you for taking the time to be with me today. It means a
Ditto.
whole lot. To the audience, I just want to say you've heard from someone who is living it and breathing it, and we should take full advantage of that. I hope that the words of Dr. Pamela Tucker have inspired people, but more importantly, challenged you to really think about what that next opportunity could be in the midst of this time. So until next time, let's continue to activate and elevate for the win.